I don't know. Have you ever had one of those how the hell did this happen moments? Case in point. Look at this bottle of Talisker. How do I not have a review of this bottle of Talisker? Why is it this empty? How did I let it get this empty without doing a review of it? This is just not right. What the hell? We need to fix this now. Let's do this. Welcome to Whisky Riffs. If you're new to my channel, I'm Kevin, and this is a bottle of Talisker 10. It's bottled at 45.8% ABV, and it's a peated whiskey. This peated single malt is aged for a minimum of 10 years in American oak casks. Many people think that using peat to malt barley is a flavor choice, but peat really is just a fuel. It's a way to malt barley and dry it out, and it just happens to be a good source of fuel for a place that doesn't have a lot of wood or another resource. And peat's been used for hundreds of years on Scotland, especially in the areas like the islands, where you just don't have much but the rock and the earth that's there that's been compacted for thousands of years. I'm glad I'm doing a review of this bottle because it's getting pretty low, and I hate to let a bottle run down to the last couple drams. Somehow got stuck in a corner of my whiskey cabinet and I just forgot about it. Knew I had a bottle of Talisker somewhere, but I didn't go looking for it until my wife said, you know, a friend of hers wondered if I like Talisker, and there were a bunch of comments saying, hey, what about Talisker? So I got some Talisker. We're gonna taste it today, and I don't remember what it tastes like. It's been a long time since I've tasted it. Obviously I tasted quite a bit of it, but I still don't quite remember anything, but I know it's peaty. I know it's got that sea salt type flavor to it, and that's all I can remember. The island Talisker comes from is the Isle of Skye, and it's on the western side of Scotland, just like Islay and Jura, but it's much further north. So it might even be a bit more harsh in the weather area than even Islay is, and I think Islay is a pretty harsh climate to create whiskey in. The Talisker distillery was founded in 1830 by Hugh and Kenneth McCaskill at Carbost on the Isle of Skye. A major fire in 1960 caused them to have to rebuild most of the distillery, including the stills, which they recreated as exact replicas of the original stills. The special bend in the lin arm that goes up, the spirits go up and over to produce the actual alcohol. Those were recreated because they give Talisker a unique flavor profile. Apparently that's what gives it its more sulfur and peppery flavor notes. And even though Talisker is part of the Diageo group right now, they still have a unique way of doing their distillation, and that hasn't changed over the years. They are the last distillery that's left on the Isle of Skye, so that gives them a unique position in the world of Scotch. If you're a fan of any of the Talisker expressions, I'd love to hear about that in the comments below. Any recommendations you have for which expressions you like, I'd love to hear that too. And if you're liking this video, I'd love to have a like on this video so YouTube will spread it around a little bit more so more people get to see it. All right, let's dig into this, see what it is, see if I can bring back the memory of what I tasted before. On the nose, I'm getting some citrus notes. I'm getting that briny seaside smell, just a hint of smoke. It's not intense. It's not Lefroy type iodine or Band-Aid nose, and pretty gentle. There's not a lot of complexity coming through on this nose. Definitely get the peaty flavor, but there's some sweetness in there too. There's some fruits. I'm getting some maybe dark chocolate even, maybe some pear notes. I really like the smoke on this. It's a nice balance of smoke and sweetness. Yeah, this is really nice. Maybe that's why the bottle's so empty. Maybe I liked it so much I was just drinking it and forgot to actually do a formal review of it. Well, we're making up for it now. The more I taste it, the more that finish lingers. It's very peppery. I don't get the sulfur notes that they're talking about, but I still get like a dark chocolate on the finish. And the smoke and the peat are fairly gentle. I love the balance of that. It's really nice. Yeah, I would call this a very balanced peated whiskey. I would say that it kind of reminds me of some of the peat and smoke from more of the Bruichladdich side than the Laphroaig side, where it's more subtle, it's more balanced. You get that brininess on that seaside. I'm going to throw a little water in this and see if that changes the profile at all. Just a little bit. I lost a little bit of the citrus on the nose. I don't know if the water changed the flavor at all. Put a little bit more in. I don't know. The water for me is making the finish a little more sour. I kind of appreciate it at the bottled ABV value, so I wouldn't add water to this for my own purposes. Your mileage may vary. Let me know in the comments what you do with this, if this is a water added whiskey or not. The price point for Talisker 10 isn't bad either. It's $63, $57, a couple of the price points I saw online right now. So as far as a peated whiskey, as an island whiskey, I would definitely say I'd recommend this. This is, if you enjoy peated whiskeys, I can't find a problem with Talisker 10. This is a lovely expression. It tastes unique enough where it doesn't just taste like another Islay whiskey, and I like that salty, briny note to it. I think that is a good balance with the peat. But for me, I'm going to leave the water out. It gave some finish notes that I don't like as much as when I left it at the bottled ABV. So if you're a fan of peated whiskeys and you haven't tried Talisker yet, I definitely give it a thumbs up. Say go ahead and give it a try. It's a decent price point for that. And until our next video, take care of yourself, take care of those people around you, and cheers.